want the truth, Alice.
Roxanne, please. It's not up to me.
He's my husband. Dr. Caldwell won't give me a straight answer, but you're my friend. Now, is Terry going to make it?
Okay, everybody, take 5.
Gabrielle.
Oh, Megan, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not in the way.
No, don't be silly. Ever since I came back from Europe, I've been meaning to call you. I wanted to tell you that...
I know how you must feel when you heard the news about Max. Everyone has been telling me the same thing.
Well, Max was special to a lot of people. More to some than to others.
Yes, I know. But I've also cried enough tears, and I certainly have had enough sympathy. I'm here for something completely different. I've never asked a favor of you before, but this is something only you can provide.
What we have here is a failure to communicate. We had a deal. You give me the money, I leave town. It's very simple. Don't make things complicated.
Now, it's not unreasonable for me to ask you to render some services for the amount of money I'm offering.
No, you're wrong. I don't kill. Not for any price.
Didn't ask you to kill anybody.
Didn't I hear you say you wanted Megan Gordon silenced?
Yes.
But you didn't mean killed?
Let's get something straight. I never have been, and don't ever intend to be in the business of putting out contracts on people.
So, then what is it you want me to do with this Megan Gordon?
You said I shouldn't be afraid of new places. The same goes for you.
Traveling to Timbuktu is one thing, but walking into the room you're going to get operated on is another.
Jared's the best. You couldn't do any better.
It's not Jared I'm worried about. It's what's behind this.
I know. It's looking in the mirror after the operation. I had the same fear before my operation.
Well, you're beautiful, Lily. I'd love to have your faith. But I also have to face the possibility that if the operation fails and I end up with this excuse for a face, I have no other choice but to go into hiding and live the rest of my life in the shadows.
Here's what to do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end. Don't cry. I'll give you tomorrow. Let me be the one to share it with. And each day that follows, 'cause we only have one life to live.
Jared won't disappoint you. After the major reconstruction today, he'll do some minor procedures, and then you won't believe it. You won't pass a mirror without looking at yourself and seeing that handsome face.
Nice try.
It's true. I know the kind of miracles that Jared can work. And when the bandages come off, you'll be able to go back to Landview, and Gabrielle and your son, and start fresh.
You guarantee that?
Absolutely. You know my history. You know about my accident and how Jared
Yeah,
helped
I
me.
know how Jared saved you and gave you a beautiful, beautiful face. But if it was such a miracle, why couldn't you go back into the real world and make a fresh start?
See, you had family to go back to. You had a life. I didn't have that.
Okay, what about now? Why not make a life for yourself now?
I have Jared. And you know he's devoted to me. I help him here in his private clinic, and I spend every minute when he's here.
When he can tear himself away from his wife, you mean? And what about his work at the hospital?
That's not fair. Jared's never misled me about his life. I know he has certain responsibilities.
Okay, what about his responsibility to you? Now, forget that. What about your responsibility to yourself?
You sound like I'm some sort of victim here. I have a happy life, okay? I'm fine.
Lily.
I'm happy.
How can you be happy? Living in this gilded cage, trapped?
I'm not trapped. I don't feel trapped. Sometimes I fantasize about leaving, but that's all they are, is fantasies.
Why are you lying to yourself? Hey, Lily, I know how you feel. Years ago, I was trapped in a Texas dirt farm. Dreaming, aching to get out of there and see the world, and I know you feel the same way. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind you want to get out of this place. whether you admit it or not.
It's not like you to ask me for a favor. It must be important. Gabrielle?
I'm sorry, what?
It's been a long time since you've been here. Not since Max's accident, I suppose.
Yeah. I have many memories at Fraternity Row, most of them good.
Still, it must be difficult to come here, seeing as Max spent most of his time here.
Yes, I know you're trying to be sympathetic, but I really didn't come here to reminisce.
Gabrielle. Hi.
Hi, David.
I'm sorry about Max.
Thank you.
He was a great guy. We'll all miss him.
Yes, so will I.
Well, take care.
Thanks.
Max had a lot of friends around here.
Yes, I know he did. Getting back to the reason I'm here, it's about my sister. You see, when Debra left Mendora, she also left a very promising career with the Royal Ballet there.
Yes, so we all left some things behind. But I think that Deborah's a wonderful dancer. I'm sure she'll get another position in another dance company real soon.
Yes, but they're not banging her doors down. At least not yet. And she seems to have a great deal of time on her hands. And, well, in the past, when that has happened, she's just got mixed up with the wrong people.
I see. Are we talking about men?
Well, she's very impressionable. She's very young and naive. I just don't want to see her get hurt, and I want to keep her as busy as possible.
Well, that's very nice of you. I hope that she appreciates your concern.
I don't want her to know. Well, you know how it is with sisters when you try and help them.
Oh, yes, I do.
I feel that she's a natural performer, and well, I wondered, don't you think she'd be very good on Fraternity Row?
Well, yeah, sure. We always need someone to pour the coffee or to sit around Frat Row.
Well, I was wondering about a recurring role, perhaps one of the sorority sisters or something like that, and I was going to ask you if you could use her influence to get her an audition.
Well, I can talk to Beau. It's really up to him, but I'm sure that he'd be receptive to the idea.
Thank you, Megan.
Excuse me, Gabrielle, I heard you were on the set.
Hello, Stephanie.
I'm so sorry about Max. If there's anything that I can do...
Oh, yes, thank you very much. Actually, I was just on my way out, so, Megan, thanks again.
Wait, Gabrielle, wait. Everyone has been offering their condolences, and I haven't had a chance. Well, I haven't had a chance. We know the history that's between us and everything that's gone on between us, and I just want you to know that none of that matters right now, and that I really do feel for you now.
It involves a political race. We're choosing a new mayor here in Landview, and I'm backing one of the candidates, our intrepid district attorney, Herb Callison.
You on the side of the DA?
It's a free country, right?
So far it is.
The point is that Megan Gordon is backing the other candidate, her mother, Victoria Buchanan.
So she's loyal. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it is Megan's public image. As a TV star, she commands much more attention and respect than she deserves.
When she talks, people listen, in other words.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, lately she's been talking much too much on behalf of her mother, and that's what you're going to put a stop to. Not with physical threats, but with a much subtler and more effective weapon.
I'm listening.
If Megan Gordon is like every other actress I've ever heard of, she didn't get where she is today on her abilities alone. There must be several nasty skeletons in her closet.
And you want me to look in that closet, is that it?
How very astute of you. But I don't want you to just look. I want you to find me something that I can use to knock her off the campaign bandwagon.
And if I come through?
Then I'll come through for you, and you can relocate, far from the glare of the prison searchlights. But you're going to act quickly, and you are going to do whatever it takes to get this information on our very own soap opera queen. So, do we have ourselves a deal?
It's the connection. That's the missing piece of the puzzle. I mean, what could connect a common thug like Carlo Hesser to a supposedly legitimate businessman like Michael Grand?
Are you saying you're beginning to doubt that there is a connection?
No, no,
Don't forget, I found Hesser's initials in Michael's appointment book. Not once, but several times.
I believe you, Clint.
You don't have to believe me. There's Brenda. Now, she saw Grand meeting with Hesser at Grandview. How are you going to explain that away?
I can't. But to think that Michael Grand is dealing drugs...
I didn't say that. Michael is too slick to get it directly involved in the drug business. But what about indirectly?
Wait a minute. Drugs is a cash and carry operation. Somebody has to launder the cash to get it into circulation.
You said that, I didn't.
Of course. That's why Michael Grand would back any candidate but Victoria. Not that Herb is involved with drugs either. But Michael is using him to keep her from winning.
And that way, Hesser will be able to stay in business.
Yes, with Herb as their unwitting accomplice.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Unless you got a better idea.
No, that certainly makes sense to me. God, I wish Megan hadn't stood up to Carlo Hesser at that drug rally. I mean, the look he gave her across the room could have killed her. I mean, I thought I was just being paranoid at first, but every time I think of Hesser and Megan.
Well, that is all the more reason why we have to work fast. Now, we got to find a way to blow this operation right out of the water. And we got to link Hesser and Grand with Herb's campaign.
But all we have is circumstantial evidence. Wait a minute. If we go to the police and tell them...
The police?
I hope you don't doubt their integrity.
Oh, hell no. The Landview Police Department is as honest as the day is long, but they're methodical, and they're slow. Now, the longer these two are free to pull the strings in Herb's campaign, the more dangerous it is for Viki and Megan and everyone else.
What, you have another idea?
Yeah. I don't know why it didn't hit me before. What we need is evidence, right? Not the circumstantial stuff, but concrete proof.
Right.
So it's obvious. It's very simple. I'll go undercover. I'll quit Vicky's campaign and join Herb's. And I'll bet you 100 I can find the incriminating evidence that we need.
Thank you for your kind words. I really must be going.
No, I want you to know that they're not just words. A lot of people say if there's anything I can do, and they don't really mean it, but I do.
I appreciate that, honestly.
Max touched a lot of lives here at the studio, yours and mine in particular, and it just seems almost impossible that we have to go on without him, doesn't it?
Yes. Megan, I know you're trying to help.
I am, and... Oh, this is just my clumsy way of saying that if there's anything that I can do for you, please call.
Thank you again, but I don't foresee the need.
I don't think we ever do. But sometimes things come up that are hard for us to tackle, no matter how strong we are. And more than anyone in Landview, I know how much you loved Max, and when I heard how close the two of you had gotten to getting married,
Oh, for God's sake, would you just stop? Look, I know you're trying to help. I know all of you are trying to help, but it doesn't help, all right? He's dead. He's gone. I've accepted that. Why the hell can't all of you accept it and just leave me alone? You're going to lie still until Jared arrives.
Are you admitting that I'm right?
I'm not admitting anything. I have no reason to leave here.
How about freedom?
I am free. I'm free to live my life. I'm free to love Jared. I wouldn't have a life if it weren't for him.
Okay, Jared gave you a new face, but it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice the rest of your life for him, you know?
I don't see it as a sacrifice.
So how do you see it? Living here on this estate, isolated from the rest of the world while he goes home to his wife?
That will change.
When?
When the time is right. Jared's promised he'll divorce his wife and marry me.
Hey, that's a new one.
Jared is a man of his word, and I'm not going to stay here hidden for the rest of my life. And once we're married, we'll travel around the world, we'll see things and do things.
Lily, I don't want to badmouth Jared. But no matter how brilliant a surgeon he is, the guy is still a guy, and sometimes...
You don't know him. You don't know anything about him.
I know how a guy can be when he has all the cards in his hands. You understand me? If he was going to leave his wife, he would have done it years ago.
It's not fair.
He's the one who's not being fair, especially to you.
I don't want to hear you talk about him like this.
Someone has to say it, Lily. It's about time you stop defending him. And stand up for yourself.
I take it our patient is ready.
Jared, I didn't hear you come in.
I'm not surprised. You had your hands full prepping Max for the operation.
Oh, she's just giving me a pep talk, Doc. I hope my doctor is as optimistic about the operation as my nurse.
I'll do my best.
Jared, what's wrong?
Wrong? Why should anything be wrong?
I don't know. You seem tense.
Well, you know me, hon. Always a little anxious before I start cutting. Please administer the anesthetic.
Of course.
We'll use the maximum dosage.
Maximum?
Yes, that's right, Lily. Go ahead.
Jared? The dosage is so much larger than usual.
Max can handle it. After all, I'm only thinking of what's best for this patient.
Now, are you guys trying to make me nervous because you're doing a hell of a good job? What seems to be the problem here?
No problem, is there, Lily?
No. No, of course not. Just lay back and relax. Everything's going to be fine. Let the anesthesia do its job. That's it. Just relax.
No deal, Mr. Gran.
You think you're in a position to negotiate for a better one? You have no choice, except to do whatever I tell you.
No. I've got enough of your dirt underneath my fingernails already. All I want is the money you owe me for the last lousy job.
No, see, you loused that up all by yourself. You got caught carrying the marked money.
Just give me the money you owe me, and I'll get out of town. I'll get out of the whole darn country.
You really think it's that simple, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Submit your bill, take your money, and go.
It's called business, Mr. Gran.
That's right. And I'm twice the businessman you will ever be. So you're not getting a single cent until you do as I say and get the information that I want on Miss Gordon.
In your ear, pal.
Well, I just have to call the Florida authorities, I guess.
Go on.
They'll put you right back in prison where you belong, won't
Be
they?
my guest. I outran him before, I'll outrun him again. Now, you get my money, or you get yourself an army to cover you, because I'm going to come back after you, one way or the other.
Where does that leave your sister? Andy's a pretty nice kid. I'd hate to see her suffer just because of your stubborn streak.
You leave her out of this.
Love to, Jake. I would love to. But it's up to you. Andy's running Max's place, right? And wasn't she approached by some bent noses selling protection?
If you so much as put a finger...
I am thinking of her welfare. If those clowns approach her again, she won't have the money to hold them off this time.
You threaten me all you want. But if anything happens to my sister...
Nothing is going to happen to your sister as long as you get the information that I want on Megan Gordon. Now, what's going to be? Is it going to be your pride? Or is it going to be your sister's welfare?
Damn it.
Well, I'll take that as an affirmative response. Now, in here you'll find her address and background information on her and her family. And I suggest you get moving because those Florida cops, they might be gaining on you.
Gabrielle, I am sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I just thought if you spoke about Max, it would get it off your chest.
No, it's all
help.
right. It's all right. It's this place. It's the memories I had with Max here. It's just too much, that's all.
Megan,
No,
sorry, but we need you on the set
Yeah,
now.
all right. 1 second, Ray.
No, it's quite all right. They need you. You go back.
Are you sure?
Yes, I need some fresh air, that's all.
All right, well, take care of yourself. And if you ever need to talk, let me know.
Thank you.
Okay, places, people, places now. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
The doctors say that it's out of their hands and that I should just give up on you. I can't do that, Terry. I can't give up on you, not now that we're finally together.
Max, I'm really very touched by that offer, but there's no way I can accept a job with your soap opera.
You really prefer Statesville Prison?
Of course not. But Judge Carlin won't allow it.
I've already checked with the personnel office at WVLE. Wilma said if anyone asks, she'll say you heard about the job and applied through her.
Remember the first time that we were together? How you and I both knew right then and there that we were going to be together forever, that we were meant for each other?
Maybe it's getting close to morning.
Who knows? Who cares?
You're right. I've enjoyed spending the night just talking, Max.
We covered a lot of ground, didn't we?
You certainly did. I feel as if I know all there is to know about you now. Certainly more than I ever did before.
This is the first time I've ever opened up so much to you.
Same here. And it felt wonderful.
I'll hold on to you. I'll fight for you. Please, Terry. Hold on. I'm going to hold on to you for always. Always.
You know, Clint, I hate to play devil's advocate, but your plan just won't work.
Of course it'll work. Once I'm undercover, I'll get the proof that Hesser and Grand are in cahoots.
Well, first, you're going to have a hard time convincing them that you're jumping from Victoria's campaign to hers.
Ah, people do that all the time.
And not when they're married to the candidate. I mean, do you really expect Michael Grand to believe that you're switching loyalties? Michael is many things, but he's not naive.
Well, neither am I. Now, it's public knowledge that Viki and I have had our problems lately. And this race for mayor has only made those problems more visible.
Just the opposite. The two of you have done your best to present a united front.
Well, we still haven't stopped the rumors completely, now have we? Well, now's the time to confirm those rumors. I'll stage a little confrontation with Viki. And I'll walk out on her. I'll play the wounded, indignant husband, intent on punishing his wife. What better way to do that than to join the enemy camp?
Okay, let's say, just for argument's sake, that you can convince them that you and Victoria have split up. What makes you think they're going to let you join their campaign?
Because I know what I'm doing. And because I'll offer to share some of Viki's secret campaign strategy with them.
Well, you keep assuming that these guys were just born yesterday. I mean, they know that you and Victoria have argued and made up, and then argued and made up again. What makes you think they're going to allow you into the inner circles of Herb's campaign if there's a chance that you'll go back to Victoria?
Ah, but what if I convince them that there's no possible chance of a reconciliation, that Viki and I are really through?
Well, that'll take time. And time is the one thing we don't have if we want to protect Megan and Victoria from Carlo Hesser's strong-arm tactics. Besides, think of the trouble this will cause your family, this deception.
I hadn't considered that.
I mean, Kevin and Joy have heard enough gossip about their parents these last few months. Do you want to subject them to a public ordeal with you two on opposite sides of a campaign?
No, of course not. You're right, I haven't thought the plan through. Forget it.
No. It's a good plan. Just needs a slight adjustment. We have to find somebody else to go into Herb's campaign undercover.
Somebody else? You have somebody else in mind?
Definitely. You're looking at it.
Respiration's normal, Jared. Jared, did you hear me?
Yes, I heard. I heard something else, too, when I came in the room to begin the operation. You and Max having a conversation about me.
Well, I don't know what you think you heard, but believe me, Jared, I don't...
Lily, I'm not angry with you. Although I must say I was disappointed to hear Max putting me down behind my back after all I've done for him.
But he wasn't putting you down.
So quick to defend him.
I'm just trying to explain what you obviously misunderstood.
I understood quite clearly. Max thinks I've been unfair to you.
No, he doesn't. He just thinks that I should get out more, see new things, new people, new places.
What do you think, Lily? Is Max right? Do you feel like leaving this place? Do you feel like getting away from me?
Jared, don't put words in my mouth, please.
Well, then you tell me in your own words. Are you staying with me because you feel you owe me, not because you love me?
Jared, I don't think this is the time or the place to discuss this.
What are you afraid of, Lily? That I'll lose my concentration and nip when I should tuck? I'm a much better surgeon than that, don't you think?
You're a wonderful surgeon. I just think we should talk about this another time.
Oh, sorry. I want to know where I stand, where we stand. Scalpel. Lily. Well, I'm waiting.
Jared, all I want is you, now and always.
So glad to hear you say that. Not just for myself, but for your own good. Max is a charming guy, and I don't blame you for becoming close to him.
We're just friends.
Well, yes, of course, but friends have a way of becoming, like I said. He's a charming guy, and I'm glad you weren't taken in by his charms, not after the stories.
Stories?
Newspaper articles after Max's accident. Usually they speak kindly of the dead, but in Holden's case, the articles were full of stories about the broken hearts he left behind.
If you mean Gabrielle Medina, he's still in love with her.
And what has his love given her? Nothing but pain. Isn't that true? And what about this other one? Megan Gordon, an actress, I think is her name. Another notch on his belt. I suppose there are always women who'll fall for a man like Max. But you know better. You know better than to let him get too close or take him too serious. Am I right?
Right.
Aren't you glad we cleared this up, here and now? I know I am. Suture?
Come in.
Hi.
Oh, great. Lousy day, and now there's a flood.
What's up?
Oh, nothing. I'm just depressed. No, I'm miserable. You know, I know that this whole thing with Max has been tough on you, but last time I talked to you, you said you were going to try to put Prince Raymond and Mendora behind you. I know, and I'm trying. I asked Sheldon and the other writers to please give me as big and complicated a storyline as possible. I asked them to work me 5 days a week, and in all my free time, I've been devoting that to Viki's campaign.
Sounds like you wouldn't have time to be miserable.
Yeah, well, I didn't think so until today. So what happened today? Well, Gabrielle stopped by the studio. I haven't seen her since I heard about Max. How is she? She's putting up a good front, I think. She came by the studio to see if she could get Debra a job on the show. And she was talking to people and smiling and seemed to be doing okay, but then she hung out there for a little while, and I think all the memories overcame her, and she just couldn't take it, so she left.
You know, I never had too much sympathy for Gabrielle.
I know, neither did I, but you can't help but feel sorry for her right now. I mean, she really did share something with Max. They had a real chance together. They had a moment of happiness. That's something that most of us don't get.
You'll have your chance.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's what I've been telling myself, that my prince will come along, but... Well, he did, didn't he? Real live prince in a real live castle in a real live fairy tale land. Great. And guess what? My real live prince was just like all the other men in my life. Otherwise engaged.
Megan, Raymond had commitments to his country.
Yeah, well, it's always something.
I know that you're hurting right now, but you know what? Your prince is gonna come, and even if he's a pauper, you'll be ready for him.
I am ready. Problem is, given my luck, will he be ready for me?
Oh, just what we need. Blood.
Oh, 2 by 2, the only way to swim.
I'm not gonna cry. Not this time. Max, I'm dead. You're gone. Why don't you leave me alone? That's all I want is some peace. You're gone. That's all I want is peace.
Roger, what makes you think that you can fool Herb and Michael Grand if I can't?
Well, for starters, I'm not her husband.
No, you're her campaign manager. You're the fellow who convinced her to run for mayor in the first place. Now, it's very far-fetched to say the very least that you would quit her campaign midstream and cross to the other side.
Well, it's not as far-fetched as you might think. I mean, I am known as something other than Victoria's campaign manager. I'm also known as the odd man out when it comes to your marriage.
So people gossip, so what?
Well, you were willing to use that gossip to our advantage. I will, too. You know, people would like nothing better than to see you and Victoria work this thing out. So they will hardly be surprised when I'm the one who's left out in the cold.
You know, we're not talking about the town gossip or some scandal sheet here. We're talking about Herb and Michael Grand. Now, you just got through telling me that they're not exactly naive.
Yes, but when they realize that the whole town has sided with you and Victoria, with me being the bad guy, they'll realize they need me.
Need you? For what?
Who knows the inner workings of Victoria's campaign better than her ex-campaign manager? They'll try to exploit my feelings of bitterness and frustration, and they'll think they're manipulating me, and I'll let them go on thinking that while I try to scrape up enough evidence to nail Hesser and Grant.
I don't know. It might work, but it might not.
And, wait, there's an added bonus. While I'm trying to get the incriminating evidence on Grant, I'll be giving a boost to Victoria's campaign.
How? By turning your back on her?
That's right. The public will just stand up and applaud when they see the other man realize that Victoria is devoted to her husband. And the voters will have the happy ending they've been hoping for. And Victoria will be that much closer to winning the election.
Got all the bases covered, haven't you, Roger?
You tell me.
All right, you got me convinced. You're the best man for the job.
Great. Well, then you'll help me pull off this deception. I don't think I'll be able to pull it off unless I have your backing.
I'll do my part, but on one condition. That Viki is protected at all costs.
All right. Well, for her safety, she should be kept in the dark about this. She should really believe that this is a true split. Not just an act, but a real, irrevocable split.
Well, saying it is one thing. Getting her to believe it might be something else.
Yeah, well, I'll get her to believe it, all right. By the time I'm through, she'll be forced to believe that I'm out of her life forever.
All right, Roger, but I want you to know something up front. I'm going to take advantage of your little defection. And I'm going to try and win my wife back. You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you. Loud and clear.
You're not going to challenge that?
You know, Clint, I want what's best for Victoria, and if that means that I have to turn my back on her now, well, so be it. I'm ready to suffer the consequences, no matter what they are, for Victoria's sake.
Forgive me for not knocking.
What's to forgive? My door's always open, remember?
Good, I need to talk to you.
Oh, I have to talk to you, too. Great news. Spent my lunch hour on the phone with some of those contacts we talked about. You know, the ones with the deep pockets who are really going to get this drug rehab project off the ground.
Tony.
I know. Your only interest in the Outlook House project is to make yourself rich and famous. I've memorized that speech already. But in spite of your so-called ulterior motives, we're going to do some good in this town. Knock out drugs, knock out pushers. Oh, what do you say to that, Gabrielle? Gabrielle, what happened to you?
Nothing.
Nothing? You look like you just tried to swim the Landview River. Here, let me get you a towel.
I don't need a towel. What I need is to learn.
Learn? Learn what?
How you do it. Teach me, Tony. Teach me how to punch and how to fight.
Gabrielle, what's wrong?
Oh, I just think I need to know a little bit more about self-defense, and you're the only one who can teach me.
Will you tell me what this is all about? Did somebody try to hurt you today?
No. No, I just want to know the art of self-defense, you see? You're the pro. I want you to show me how to use my fists.
You want me to teach you how to box? Okay. Okay. The first rule is to know why you're fighting. What is it you want to hit, Gabrielle? What are you fighting?
Right here. Right inside here. Because the faster I run, the more I can't avoid it, the more it hurts. All right? The more painful it is.
The pain. This is what we're talking about?
Yes. It won't leave me alone. It won't give me any peace. Please. Please, will you help me?
I am helping you, Gabrielle, but instead of fighting this pain, you got to let it out.
No. No, it doesn't work that way, you see?
Okay. Will it help to hit something?
Yes. Yes, it will.
Okay, then hit me. Go ahead. I can take it.
I don't want to hit you.
I'm serious. Put your hands up.
What?
Okay, now listen. Put your thumbs in. You keep your right by your chin to protect yourself, and you jab with the left. Okay, now jab me.
No.
Come on, come on.
I'm not joking.
I'm not joking. I know you're not joking. Now hit me. Now, give me your best shot. Snap him off from the shoulder like that. Come on. You want to hit me or not? Come on. You want to let it out? Hit me, Gabrielle. You want to hit me? Go ahead. Come on. Hit me. I'm right here. I'm right here. Hit me. Come on, Gabrielle. Hit me. Hit me. You want to hit me, Gabrielle? Go ahead. That's it. Go ahead.
To the perfect day. First, I do a deathbed scene. Then, Gabrielle nearly breaks my heart, and that's not easy for her to do. And then, to top things off, I ruin my favorite silk blouse in the rain. What I need right now is a nice hot shower, a glass of wine, and a good movie on the VCR. Yes, 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 yes.
That's it. That's better, isn't it?
Nothing's ever better. It never gets any better.
You feel that way now, but that feeling won't last. Believe it or not, the grief will go away, so will the pain.
Yeah, another miracle, right?
No, it's not a miracle. It's nature's way. You lose something precious and you hurt. Eventually, you stop hurting. In time, you're able to go on stronger than ever.
I was strong until I let you get to me.
No, that wasn't real strength. That was only for show. Don't you get it, Gabrielle? It's only when you let someone into your heart. It's only when you feel that you have the courage to go on with your life.
Don't talk to me about courage. You don't want me to be brave. You want me to be dependent on you and your God. Because that way, then, you'll have control of me. No. But I've got to tell you something. I'm not giving up control just...
You know better than this. You know I'm on your side, the same side as God.
Well, guess what? You chose the wrong corner. God's over there with the good people. I'm the opponent. I'm the one in the black trunk.
I know that's how you want to look at yourself, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Exactly how it is. I trusted in him. I gave him my life. He had complete control of me. And you know what happened? A technical knockout.
God didn't hurt you, Gabrielle.
Oh, didn't he? Oh, golly, that's funny. When Max crashed the car and it went up in flames on my wedding night, I thought, you know, that's a bit of a low blow, even for God. But maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know how to forgive and forget.
He does.
Yeah, he does, because he's perfect, but I'm not. The one thing I did learn from knowing him, now I know how a real operator works. You know, someone who really gets you.
Hey, Gabrielle, I know you don't mean what you're saying right now.
Oh, yes, I do. I mean every blasphemous word. See, now it's me. I believe in me. It is my spirit that will be in control. It is my salvation. Only me. Am I finally getting through to you, Father?
Yeah, okay. Just stop this, okay?
What? Why? I thought you enjoyed a good dialogue every once in a while.
I want you to stop talking and get out of those wet clothes before you catch a pneumonia.
My father. If I didn't know you better, I would say that you're having an impure thought.
Okay. If you won't help yourself, I'll do it for you. Come on.
Tony Valiant. The fighting priest, as always. You think you can come in and win every round and just go the distance, don't you?
Haven't lost one yet.
Yeah, well, there's always a first time, you know.
Gabrielle.
What's it gonna take, eh? What do I have to do to make you realize that I am a lost cause? Huh? What do I have to do?
Gabrielle, you're going to catch your death. I just want you to get out of those clothes.
Uh-huh. What happens if I do? Then it's just you and me in this room all alone. Is God gonna look the other way? Or more to the point, are you?
I've done everything I can for him.
Were you able to restore Max's face?
I thought you were more experienced in these things, Lily. Haven't you learned my technique by now?
Jared, tell me, was the operation a success?
Well, there's a good deal of swelling and discoloration, but I think if you can look past that, you'll be able to see the face I was able to give him. Are you sure that you want to?
I'm sure.
Very well. Take a good look and tell me what you think.
Oh, my God.
Tomorrow, following the People's Choice Double Award winner Roseanne Barr, the new university president makes Hayden teach history, or